What's going on, guys? You have reached Zach Baby TV, and today I am doing a book review on one of the Nickelodeon's Snick Are You Afraid of the Dark books that I just finished reading last night. I'm going to try to remember everything that I can from that book and kind of just do a review of it, and then I'm going to rate it. First, a shout out to Sean for actually giving me this book, The Tale of the Restless House. This is the one that I just finished. An excellent book. And then he gave me another one, which I'll be starting next, called The Tale of the Nightly Neighbors, which I will be starting this tonight. And he even gave me a cool bookmark, right? Submitted for the approval of Zach Baby TV. That was cool. Shout out to Sean. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this book. I loved it a lot. The Tale of the Restless House says, I'm going to go ahead and read the back for you, and then we'll kind of take it from there. Nathan Forster plans to scare Adam Ingram out of his wits. He found the perfect place. Haunted Hawkins' house. And gorgeous Kendra Collins has agreed to bait the trap. But when Adam and Kendra and their friends open the door, they find that only Nathan's backpack, loaded with Halloween tricks, Nathan is missing. Then they hear a scream. It's up to Adam to discover the secret of Hawkins' house, where a terrifying past lurks behind each door, where their only way out is death. This book is super good. Basically, Kendra is friends with Josh and Nathan and Nikki. They're considered the cool kids. The Hawkins house is a creepy abandoned house, super old. Nobody seems to know anything about it. They wanted to play this huge prank on this guy named Adam. He's just a regular guy, doesn't have a lot of friends, kind of introverted, quiet, not bad looking, just not really big in the social world. And they wanted to play a prank on him because he has a crush on Kendra, and everybody knows it. Kendra really didn't want to be part of the whole shebang, but they basically invited him to meet them at this haunted house because only certain people know about it. And what happens was, when they agree to do it, to trick him and call him and say, hey, meet us here for a double date or whatever, Nathan goes into the house by himself because he's a trickster. So I guess he was going to prep some stuff in the house, you know, for some jokes, to play a prank on this guy Adam, right? He goes missing. Kendra calls Adam. He agrees. Of course, he's thinking innocently. He likes her. They get in the house and the door locks behind them. They find Nathan's backpack inside the house. There's blood on it. All the stuff's still inside it. They can't get the door open. They try to go through a window. And when they go through a window, they're in some like jungle, and there's a saber-toothed tiger out there, and it's like gonna charge at them. So they close the window, and then they go to another window, and they hop out, and there's a frickin', they're in like the Jurassic time frame, and there's a frickin' dinosaur out there, and that's a whole nother shebang, and that chases them, and they gotta go through hell to get away from that. Then they try upstairs, they go in the upstairs window, stuff like that. They're like in the Civil War time frame because they see redcoats firing at the Americans, and they're like this with muskets and stuff, like, and it's just freaking wild. Like, every window is a different time frame. It's like this house is a portal. It has no time, like time doesn't exist. And even when they go out, look out the windows, it's dark, but they went in there during the day. So it is a mind twist beyond belief. They went inside the kitchen, and there's like a full-on freaking dinner there, candles lit. There's a turkey dinner, like full stuffing, pies, you name it, it's there, hot and ready. There's nobody in the house. And you go into a library, and the fire lights up, and it's all cozy and nice. And Kendra finds a book in the library, and it's the same book that she's reading at home on the same page that she left off at, which totally blew her mind. So this whole time they're looking for Nathan, their friend, because he's missing. They found his backpack inside the house. So they're on a mission. They're checking all the doors and stuff. They can't get out. It's crazy because every time they try to escape from the house, something's attacking them. Something doesn't seem real. They're in prehistoric times. They're during the Civil War. They're saber-toothed tiger, and I'm not talking about Power Rangers. So it's really wild. And then when they try to open a freaking closet, a skeleton comes out. I mean, whenever they try to escape, they can't, and something always comes at them, surprises them, and stops them. They eventually did find Nathan. He was alive. He was hiding in some brush in the Civil War area. When they looked out that window with the redcoats firing and the gunfire, he was curled up hiding and shivering outside. Looks like he actually left one of the windows trying to escape, but got too scared to move after the people started firing and stuff. So Adam became like this super brave kid, right? And goes out there and rescues him. Kendra's like falling hard for this guy, because she always said like, he's cute, but I never thought about dating him. This whole thing was supposed to be a prank, but in the long run, Josh and his girl, they become freaking wussies. They don't want to help. They don't want to do anything. They have no ideas. They're so scared. They're shaking. They're crying. They are just useless space at this time. And what's really crazy is Adam becomes so brave. He goes out there and saves Nathan. Even though he was his idea to prank him and set him up thinking that Kendra was going to go out with him, which she ends up falling for him. Sorry for the spoiler alert, because he's so brave. He forgives her because she confesses to him, I'm sorry, this was all planned to play a prank on you with my friends. I apologize, you didn't deserve that. And he actually forgives her. And over time, with all the things they're dealing with in the house, they like bond. And they become close because everybody else is chicken liver, including Nathan. He's just broke down, man. I mean, he's just broken. Nikki is just a waste. I mean, the frickin' dinosaur gets through the house thanks to Nikki. If she didn't run out there, that would have never happened. So basically, Adam and Kendra kind of figured out that every time they want to leave the house, something happens. Every time they try to escape out of a window, they're in a different time frame. So, who built the house? How long has this house existed? Has this house been here since the beginning of time? Obviously, it's been here since the dinosaur ages, and there wasn't even no humans during that time. Yeah, like, there was a lot of crazy stuff. It's, like, wild. So much action, so much mystery and suspense in this movie, in this book. They figure out that there must be somebody in the house that's triggering this, that's watching them, before they realize that the house is alive. And they find, like, this loose thing inside the library in the back of the fireplace, like a hidden switch. And there's some super old guy back there, and he's like over 200 years old. He says, I've been stuck in this house. I can't escape. The house talks to me. It does not want anyone to leave because the house is lonely. So it keeps people in the house forever because it like feeds off their life force. But it prolongs your life hundreds of years, but you're stuck in the house. It's like the house cannot be alone. It has to have people in the house. But it'll treat you good if you stay in the house. It'll cook for you. It will make your bed every morning. It will let you do whatever you do as long as you try to stay in the house and you don't try to leave. And it's crazy because there was like this Bible that they found that was super old in the library, and his name was Jeremiah, and it was from the 1700s. And it's funny because the last entry was from Jeremiah from the 1700s. And that guy that they found, his name was Jeremiah. That was him. Like, he was the last entry in this Bible that they found in the library that was anciently old. And that was his, and from the 1700s. It was the same guy. And he says, you can't leave. He's like, I'll probably die in 20 years. I'm over 200 years old. The house won't let you go. It does everything for you, but it doesn't want to be alone. Pretty scary. There's people like that out there. So, basically, they go through so many hoops. The old man says, whatever, you guys could try to leave if you want. If you try to leave, it's gonna kill you because it wants you to stay. It doesn't want, the house does not want to be vacant. It needs to be full. It needs people. So they go through trials with the dinosaur, knocking it out of the window when it was in the house. Team effort between Kendra and Adam. I mean, they become like mano a mano. Okay, they're definitely gonna hook up, right? They're definitely gonna get together. And the saber tooth comes because they keep trying to open doors. They're going in the basement. They're going upstairs, attic. They're trying to figure out a way out, and they can't figure it out. The old man Jeremiah said the only way out is through the front door. That's the only time frame. That's the only door that will send you back to your true home and your true time. But the door's locked. They tried using a knife. That didn't work. Nothing would work. They did find some spray paint and some paint and stuff inside Nathan's bag originally, which is flammable. The saber-toothed tiger gets in the house because the house lets it in because they're trying to escape. And as punishment, the saber-tooth comes in. And they spray paint the eyes of the saber-tooth and he's freaking out. I mean, how would you feel? And then they freaking start a fire with the flammable liquid stuff that they have from Nathan's backpack that was full of junk that they were going to use to prank Adam with. And they light a freaking fire. And it scares the saber-tooth so bad, he charges at the front door, beats it down, and actually tears the door down. And the door's open. The saber-tooth runs outside and vanishes into the mist. Everybody runs out the door. We're free. Finally, we're out of this house. We won. We beat the house. And Kendra and Adam were the last ones out. Kendra turns around on the porch. Adam doesn't want to leave. He's like, I love history. Let me talk to the house and see if we could make a deal. Which was a total mind twist. I was like, whoa, I'd be so out of there. The others left. I'm telling you, the other three were losers. And even Kendra said that. She's like, I am no longer friends with them. They did nothing. They did not help whatsoever. All they did was cry, mumble, and they basically gave up. They were absolutely no help whatsoever. It was everything was on the shoulders of Kendra and Adam. And they wouldn't even be in that situation if they weren't trying to be mean to Adam for not being popular. Anyways, so Adam talks to the house and he says, listen, I want to make a bargain with you. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to read that part because that part is so awesome. I'm going to read this to you because I don't want to get it wrong. House, he said in a firm, even voice, we just proved to you that we can escape from here anytime we want to. Even if you trap us again, we could still break free. Now, will you listen to what I have to say, or should we just turn around and walk out of here? Kendra strained to hear an answer. To her shock, she did. It was like a signing voice in the back of her mind. What do you wish to say? It was the house speaking, and she could hear it. We know that you are lonely, Adam said gently, and I could understand loneliness. I've been pretty lonely in the past too. He gave Kendra's hand a squeeze. But I've found a really good friend now, and that's what you need, a friend. Not a captive, forced to be here and kept alive artificially. A friend, and that's what I promise I will be, on 2 conditions. What conditions? Asked the house suspiciously. First of all, Adam insisted, that you stop trying to keep me here by force. I have to be free to come and go as I wish. I have a life outside of these walls that I don't want to give up. And second, you have to let me explore some of the other time periods that I want to visit. And if I agree? Then I promise I'll come by often to visit you and talk to you, Adam answered. You have a friend and not a captive, and I'll be here because I want to be, not because I'm forced to be. 2 friends, said Kendra suddenly. She gave Adam a grin. I'm not going to let you have all the fun on your own. 2 friends then, said Adam, of our own free will. What do you say? There was a long pause, and then another whisper. I agree, said the house. And thank you, friends. After a pause, the house added, I think that I have learned something this day too. So the house learned it's better to work with someone to not be lonely than to force people to stay and keep them captive. Jeremiah ended up staying in the house. He was over 200 years old. He's like, I don't even want to be in this time period. There's nothing for me out there anymore. So Jeremiah gained 2 extra friends too. Jeremiah ended up staying in the rest of his life in that house, but he gained 2 friends because Adam and Kendra would visit the house often, and they got to visit any time period they wanted to in the world. Anytime, any war, any celebration, any victory, any awesomeness that they wanted to see, the house would take them there and let them go out and adventure and come back to the house. And then they could go home at their own free will. That's pretty awesome. The house won, they won, and Jeremiah won. Everybody won. The ending was awesome, guys. This was such a great book. I was not expecting the house to actually like be alive and to be a lonely source that would force people captive. I honestly thought like Jeremiah was like some mad scientist or something. Like, I had no idea. This book is awesome. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. That's like a B+ rating in letter form. Shout out to Sean. I hope you like this book review. There's some stuff in here that I did not mention, but I did cover a lot of the main facts that were in this book. It was just really great. If you have this book, read it. If you don't, look it up on eBay or on Amazon. Pick it up at a thrift store if you could find it, wherever you can. This book is great. So I hope you enjoyed this book review. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think of this review. I will be starting this one next, The Tale of the Nightly Neighbors. So we will see you next time.